Hi, welcome to our new show here at the Football Academy. This is one of our pilot shows, one of the first new shows that we can hopefully bring to you on a regular basis to give you updates about the programmes that go on here, not only in Manchester but on our Ellesmere programme. And as I'm here talking, I'll be introducing our head coach Matt and one of our successful players at the programme here in Manchester. And we'll be talking a little bit about the programme. But first of all, the Ellesmere programme. So the Ellesmere programme in Shropshire has been tremendously successful this season. We started with over 30 players on the programme over there, and during the season we managed to appoint ex-Liverpool and Inverness Caledonian Thistle player David Raven as our head coach over there. So the programme's been going really well. The players over there have really taken to David, and I caught up with David earlier on last week to see how he can pass his experience on to the players.
David, you've been with the boys here for most of the season. How have they developed over the season while they've been with you?
Developed really well, yeah. They come on leaps and bounds. Stuff we put in place for them, they've took on board. They're learning, they're getting better physically, they're getting better with the ball, without the ball. We played the game Monday night and they were absolutely excellent. The difference I've seen, if I compare it to what it was, you know, even at the start, then it's night and day. The lads have really come on, and so they've really benefited.
So what's some of the standout points of the season so far for you with the boys, and what you've watched with development and games and interacting with them?
It's that for me as a coach, is seeing the development from them. I mean, you see that in games. Say that the other day when we did play. For me as a coach, to see them put things across into a game that we do in training and try and play the way we train. We try and train at high tempo and make it short and sharp, lots of passes, lots of touches. To see them put that into a game, you know, is absolutely, as a coach, that's the most pleasing thing. And to see the improvement in them, and they soak it up, and the lads ask me questions, they want to learn. So that, again, as a coach, that's brilliant.
And you've spoken to them lots of times, David. You started off with talking to the boys about your career in football and things, and your experiences. How's that been for you to be able to pass on all them experiences and your knowledge of the game and everything that you've done in football to these young lads?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, they love asking me the questions about my career and stuff, and I'm more than happy to speak about it and my experience of it, and you know how tough the game can be at times, but how rewarding it can be, how good it is, how brilliant it is to play every day. So it's been you know, sort of string to me bow that I've had that career as such, and I can pass that on, and they've responded to that like brilliant, yeah.
Now obviously we're looking at next season as well now, and coming towards the end of this season. What type of things do you think, based on this season, that we'll look to bring in for next season?
In terms of the programme?
Yeah.
Well, the stuff that they're doing here now, more of that. Obviously with games I'd like to involve more analyst sort of stuff as well, so we watch the game, we can maybe get a video, we can look at it afterwards, we can sort out a working week around that. I want the working week to be more like that professional environment that you'd get at a first team level or at academy level, so we'll base the sessions around, you know, on Monday, Tuesday, we'll have a game on a Wednesday, and then what we do after that, and that's how we'll work, the week.
Now also, over there we've had some great success stories, and one of those is Saranga. Now Saranga's been with us on the programme for quite a while, a very confident young man, and I caught up with him to see about his time on the programme and his success story.
Saranga, thank you for talking to us. Now we're chatting today about your progression on from the programme. You've been with us 2 years, and you leave at the end of this term?
Yep.
Now you're going on to Monroe College?
It's called Monroe College, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that progression and what you're aiming to do.
Well, it's a D1 program at the junior college level, so they play in the NJCAA. So after this I plan to play at the college level, get my associate's degree after 2 years, and then try and get a bachelor's degree from a D1 university.
Superb. And just to be clear for everybody, this is you going on a scholarship to the US.
Yes, correct.
Now you've got this through the partnership with
Soccer Assist.
Soccer Assist. They came down. You spoke to Tyrell.
Yeah.
How do you think that your 2 years on the program here will help you when you go over to the US?
Well, I think first things off is the English style of play. I think it's very physical, very quick. So I think I'll have an edge over American players, considering I'm kind of used to the game that they play here. I'm not saying it's not going to be challenging. It's going to be fitness-wise. I'm going to have to, work harder, be more athletic. But I think the academy here has given me the ability to, develop that physical aspect of the game and play quick, make quick decisions.
Brilliant. You looked at many options for your progression. Obviously, you were looking here in the UK. Has it helped them being on the programme to further your football, your education?
I think so. I think one thing is I've kind of learned that playing with the academy, I want to take football seriously and I want to try and make a professional career out of it. And I think the next step for me is to probably get a decent education while focusing on my football. So I think going to the US would be a good progression.
But now on to Manchester. So here in Manchester, we've had a great season over here. And I'm going to introduce Matt Lowe. You've been working with him all season. How for you has the season gone here in Manchester?
The season's been really good. Lots of positives, lots of ups, some downs, but overall the season has been really encouraging. The boys and girls have been performing excellent in both training and all the games they've been involved in.
Superb. Now you talk about, before we talk about the on the pitch side of things and the coaching side of things, you talk about the ups and the downs, and that's one thing with our international players when they come over to the UK, that as a coach and as a leader on the programme, because you teach them in the classroom, that you've got to deal with. So how do you work with the players with the different ups and downs?
Yeah, so it's very important when they first start with us, we explain to them all the possibilities, progressions, opportunities that will present themselves, but it's very important that we also provide them with the potential barriers that they might have to face. As we all know, in this country the level of football is really high. We always refer to the football pyramid and show the different levels that you can work your way up to. But all the boys have adapted very well to it, and they realise that maybe when they first started, it's not as simple to just break into any football team. You've got to work your way up, and luckily we've had a few success stories where boys have gone on trial at a decent level of football.
So we talk about them success stories first of all. Now this year, from what I know, we've had more opportunities than ever on the programme for players to progress at all different levels and education and everything. Tell me about some of those success stories of your players.
Definitely. So our leading goal scorer, Yanez, he's had attention from various different clubs in the area. First of all was Cheshire Lions, who are based in Liverpool, a very competitive football city. From that, he got asked to go to Radcliffe Borough under 21s, where he was on trial there, and there'll be the option for him to go back for their pre-season programme. And he's also had interest from Cheadle Town, another semi-pro opposition, so that was a fantastic success story. And some of the boys from our showcase event, very successful. We had a boy that come over from Norway, I think it was, and he got offered to go to Blackburn Rovers, which is a Category 1 academy, fantastic facilities up there, and probably one of our best success stories. And a few of the other boys have been asked to go to semi-pro opposition as well, so it's been really positive in that sense.
Now we talk about the semi-professional opportunities there, and that's something that I know we've been working on to try and get our players that are on the programme into those type of clubs. How important is it for them to focus their goals on them type of clubs to move up the football level?
Very important. We set collective goals, but we also set individual goals, whether these be short-term, medium-term or long-term. Now the long-term goal is always, can we be playing at the highest level of football possible? But to achieve that, you've got to achieve your short-term goals. So that means engaging as best as you can in every training session, every match analysis, and most importantly, every game that you're involved in. If you do well there, there's no reason why, as your name shows, working hard in training, you get recognised in the fixtures you're involved in. You got awarded the player of the season, and now you're starting to reap the rewards by attracting the attention of some really famous clubs within the Manchester area.
Brilliant. Now you talk about the working hard on the pitch. What type of things do you do? You're obviously in the classroom with them. We'll talk about the education in a moment. But on the pitch, what type of things do you do with them on the pitch on a regular basis?
So we have a playing philosophy that all the coaches try and follow to the best of our ability. We also link it into the FA Four Corner model, where we focus on the boys' technical work, the physical side of the game, the psychological demands, and also the social aspect. So we have a combination of them four combined with our playing philosophy to make sure the sessions are of really high intensity and also of a high level of quality coaching. All of our coaches have been involved in the professional game, so we do our best to apply what we've learned previously and apply it to the academy so the boys can have the best opportunities to progress within the football industry.
Now, coming back into the classroom, you teach the majority of the students on the BTEC and that's been quite successful this season.
Brilliant, it really has been good. Eunice, who's with me now, don't want to embarrass her, but she achieved a distinction in sub-diploma. She's on to achieve a double distinction for her full diploma, along with a few of her other classmates, so it's been really successful, and that's a chance for the students to experience what a scholar would be doing in this country at a professional club. They need to do the education side of things as well as the football, so our programme mirrors a lot of the elite clubs out there.
It's close to the
definitely
to the professional clubs. Now we'll bring Eunice in to the show. Welcome and thank you for coming to talk to us. The first female player on our programme here. How's that been for you to start with?
It's been actually a really great experience, learning from the boys, becoming more physical and playing, and it's really good.
Okay, now you can say what you like, but what about your coach Matt, who sat next to you? I know that he's been working with you and getting you involved in the majority of things. How's that gone?
It's going really good. He motivates me to do better. Even when training with the boys, he makes sure that I'm really good, and yeah, he's actually a really good coach.
Good. Well, Matt, up to you. How's Eunice been doing in the programme? I know from the start she was coming and we were looking at ways that we could integrate her into the programme and stuff, being our first female player.
Eunice has been brilliant, and it's proof that boys and girls can mix in, because Eunice keeps the standard very high. Her technical ability has massively improved since she started here on programme. Similar to her brother, she's caught the attention of some local clubs in the area, Bury and Blackburn previously. She's been really good and a pleasure to work with.
What was it that attracted you to come all the way to the UK into Manchester from your home? You're from Nairobi?
Yeah, Nairobi.
Right. So what was the football like there for you as a female player in Nairobi, and what attracted you to come to Manchester to play?
The football in Nairobi doesn't really develop as much as it's developing here, which led me to come here. Over here it's developing drastically, it's doing really well. We're getting a lot of opportunities now that it's developing, which is good and which is what led me to come here.
So were you getting a little bit frustrated about your progression back home, and that's one of the reasons you had to...
Yeah, I would, because it wasn't really getting as much as attention that some of the boys from the local clubs were getting, which was really frustrating, and that's why I decided to do one of my level 1 coaching to help girls in my country develop more.
So you're hopefully going to head home at some stage in your career to pass on your expertise to the girls back home. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Now Matt mentioned the successes that you've had. Now first of all, I know that you've trained initially with Blackburn Rovers, who have just been promoted to the next tier of the Women's League. But one of the big successes is you've been playing with Bury girls and ladies team on a regular basis. Go on, tell me a little bit about that.
It's really great. We're going into... I just finished my season with the under-18s and I'm now starting my season with the first team. And it's now pre-season, so there's a lot of fitness. And yeah, it's going really well, quite well. There's an award ceremony on Friday, which will be really good to attend.
Okay, now you've missed out a major part of that you did get through to the cup final, and you played in the cup final at Lancashire FA.
Yeah.
Now, how was that? It seemed like you had a great team spirit from some of the things that I saw. Tell us a little bit about how that felt.
At first, it was really nervous because it was like one of the first times that we were going into a cup final, so it was really nervous. But then motivating the girls to do better when we were losing even, and the girls having that motivation in them to do better, to make sure that we at least score multiple goals was really good, and it was a really good experience.
Brilliant. Well done. What's been your highlight of your season here in Manchester, Yeza?
Playing with the boys, the five-a-side games that we have, playing with Bury, having multiple games to play with, getting into the finals. It's been really good.
Brilliant. And Matt, as leading head coach here on the programme, what do you think's been the success and your highlight this season?
There's been so many, to be fair. There's been a lot that we can speak about, but there's some that sticks in my mind, which is Spellis fixtures in late last year, where our first semi-pro game against Macclesfield Town, the boys, it was a really difficult game where the game in fact they lost, but 2 weeks on for that they played the exact same team, and after a lot of hard work and training, a lot of match prep, video analysis, they played the exact same Macclesfield Town and managed to win. So that shows for me that the coaches are doing really well, but also that the players are taking on information, and that's all we ask for at IHM, that the players take on information, don't take anything personally when you might get a bit of criticism, and then look to learn from past games, which in that spell of fixtures, as I say, was really impressive to see, and that's one of the main success areas that's stayed in my mind.
Superb. Well, good luck for next season.
Thank
I know
you.
we're coming towards the end of the season. There's a few activities going on over the summer, and I do believe you'll maybe staying with us for the first part of next season at least, looking at going on to the US after that. So good luck with that.
Thank you.
So that's our new show, the first one of hopefully many. So hopefully you've enjoyed the new show, and we will come back to you with more stories, more episodes of the new show, hopefully through the season and in the coming years.